Well, you know me, folks. Any chance that I can get on shitting on 343, I will absolutely take it any day of the week. But the topic of today's video is actually something good for once. Shocker. As I do in my spare time, I like to check on Halo Twitter, simply because I want to know what exactly is going on with Halo Infinite and the franchise in general. Only to discover this one tweet from Brian Gerard, the community director for Halo. Essentially what the tweet was is that they are cutting down or completely ditching seasonal narrative cutscenes for Halo Infinite, which are basically every season that comes out, they have a little cutscene to sort of expand on a story or continue a story in some way, essentially piecemealing the narrative every 3 months. But from this tweet alone, it seems like they are now not doing that anymore. And I've got to say, this, for once, 343 actually made a good decision. To be completely honest with you, the story that they were telling in the multiplayer was average at best, boring at a push. There just wasn't enough to want to continue or be more interested into the story that they wanted to tell. If anything, the whole AI takeover thing is just goofy. Sure, it might be a continuation of leftovers from the whole created storyline that they wanted to do with Halo 5, but the less I hear more about that game, the better I feel. And for the most part, it seems like they are completely gutting storytelling for Halo Infinite's multiplayer portion. Now, for the most part, people are actually happy with this. At the same time, there are also a few, not many, but a few people who are also coping hard, thinking that this is an absolutely terrible decision and that for some fucking reason they think that this is signs that they are cutting support for Infinite, which just makes me just fucking question their logic. If anything, this, and even Sketch says it himself in his tweet, that they are allocating the resources that they would be using for cutscenes onto improving the gameplay and adding features that people actually wanted, which is a good thing. You should listen to what people actually want in your game, not doing some weird fucking cringe story that no one gives a crap about. I'm sorry, but I cannot take the story seriously when I see a badass looking Spartan wondering, oh, where the fuck am I? With an AI that looks like a fucking Pokemon that you would find in a Pokemon plush aisle in fucking Tesco. I'm sorry, but that's just stupid. It's not scary, it's not intense, it's none of that. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that they shouldn't do a story like this, but don't do it on a mainline Halo game. Do it spin-off story. Or a book. Actually, don't do it in a book, because we're just going to be going back to square one where they fucking always put important shit in books. The story just wasn't gripping me. And for a lot of people, and judging from the reactions, they feel the same way too. Halo's multiplayer isn't a good avenue for storytelling. In fact, that is also going to go back to a point that I made in my previous video, that Halo just isn't suited for a modern live service model. It's not fucking Destiny. It's not Overwatch. It's not fucking Call of Duty either. It's Halo. Halo is a completely different beast. So to try and turn Halo into something it's not, well, look what's fucking happened with Infinite. The support has been awful because 343 cannot support a live service model. It is as simple as that. And I know for a fact that there will be people coping hard, but honestly, up your standards for storytelling, man. Because the story just wasn't good. And you can argue that, oh, they were just getting started. This storyline has been going on since last year in March, and they couldn't even find a way to make it interesting back then. All they had was just some random Spartan that came onto a base and, oh, he was unconscious. That was it. We then had to wait almost 10 months to see the next chapter of that story. It's fucking stupid. It was more evident that they couldn't support the game for the type of model that they were going for. Now, of course, that's a whole different beast, and and if anything, I blame that on previous management, because let's face it, Frank O'Connor and stuff like that, they had an ego that was the fucking size of Eiffel Tower. It was insane. They wanted to turn Halo into something it's not. So for the new management to actually make the decision to cut the story so that they can allocate the resources for that onto the things that people actually want, I think is a good thing. I want firefight. I want classic weapons. I want playable elites. You know, stuff that I like to play Halo for, not a fucking story about an AI takeover. We've had enough stories about AI takeovers. Fuck off. I don't care. It's been done to death. Do it in a fucking offshoot story somewhere that just isn't connected with the mainline games. Look at short stories like the Mona Lisa. Yeah, okay, it's practically similar to the first Dead Space, but it was still cool. The characters were still cool, and they weren't confined to the restraints of the main story. It was its own thing. It was allowed to do whatever it wanted. It was a great story. That's the type of stuff I want to see. I don't want to see some fucking cutscene that I have to log on to my multiplayer every 3 months just to know where it's gonna head. Fuck that. It's not Destiny, man. 3 for free, you actually made a very good decision. Well done. For once in your company's entire lifetime, you've made a good decision.
That was an improvement, but it's not hard to improve on garbage.
Now use this opportunity to actually do what people have been asking for you to do. But whether or not you're actually going to do it, that remains to be seen. You are 3 for free after all, so you could just completely fuck this up. But other than that, I'm happy with this decision. And if anything, you should be. Because you should up your standards for storytelling, especially for Halo. And not just Halo in general, just for storytelling in general. This shit was goofy, man. Like, I liked Iritus simply because of the actor's performance. But in terms of an actual character, he's just a fucking crazy AI. Put him next to Shodan and he would fit right in. He's not unique enough. I'm genuinely happy that 3 for free made this decision, and I hope that they use this decision to do something that's worthwhile in the end. I will say it again, until people actually understand this, until 3 for free actually understands this, Halo isn't suited for live service. Fuck, even Halo 5 isn't counted as a proper live service game, at least to the standards of modern live services games that we have today. If you want to do big story stuff, have it in a spin-off title, or at least have it in a book, despite my previous comments on that. You will have more time to develop it and actually make a story that is worth reading. 3 for free is capable of making good spin-off stories, alright? I've seen it with the Mona Lisa that I mentioned. They can do it. They can do the same thing with Iritus. But yeah, I'm happy. Season 4 comes out today. Whether or not it's going to be good, that remains to be seen. They still haven't fixed the issues that I had with the career rank. In fact, they were dodging that the entire time when they were doing the live stream. Everything else seems pretty good, man. And I'm not going to be on Infinite 24/7 because there are other better games. For a short burst, it's fine. I'm looking forward to see what Season 4 can do, and it's going to be good to go back into the Infection. Alright, Infection's cool. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing, like it, share it, and I'll see you in the next one.